wish a buck was still silver. It was back when the country was strong.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us today.
Back before Elvis.
We are now simulcasting the syndicated radio broadcast at prisonplanet.tv for prisonplanet.tv viewers. I want to go over several important news developments, and then we're going to continue with your phone calls throughout the broadcast. Steve, Chris, Matt, Tim, and many others that are holding. The toll-free number to join us on air is 1-800-259-9231. Now, Barack Obama became the first president to ever chair the UN Security Council. And we covered this in my film, Fall of the Republic. We have a little clip of CNN admitting this is what really runs the UN. It has all the power. The General Assembly is a debating club. It violates Article 1, Section 9 of the U.S. Constitution. In fact, guys, give me one of the Fall of the Republics, because I want to read the back. The back has a section of the Constitution. I believe my memory serves, but I want to make sure that I am correct about that. I mean, I know it violates the Constitution. I'm going to give you the exact subsection. They did that to set the precedent. That's why they had Kissinger and all these global diplomats and world leaders there, and they were just gasped when he became the head of the United Nations, because that was illegal. That was treasonous. That was treacherous. What happened? And it's the same thing. You've got all these members of the Kenyan government, of their parliament coming out, his grandmother saying, yes, he was born here, born in this village. You have them with the fake, not even birth certificate, but fake receipt of a birth certificate. You separately have the fact that he did give up his U.S. citizenship to Indonesia under federal law with that country at that time. That makes it to where he is not a person who's eligible for president, regardless. That's a fact, that his real name is Barry Soetoro. He became an Indonesian citizen, clearly born in Kenya. And this was done to set the precedent, just like Obama becoming the head of the UN Security Council. Yes, I was correct. President Obama brazenly violated Article 1, Section 9 of the U.S. Constitution by seating himself at the head of the United Nations Security Council, thus becoming the first U.S. president to chair the world body. That's covered in the film Fall of the Republic. But the issue here is this is done by design. They stopped declaring war after World War II so that the executive branch could set up a dictatorship and cut Congress out of the loop. That's illegal. That's treason. But we've had Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm 1, Desert Storm 2, all these other military operations that are war. They even call it war on the news. Before, they were a little more careful and called it police action because it was so illegal. Now they just say, yeah, it's a war. The Iraq war, the Afghan war, and all the other wars they're running. Just like they come out now and say, yeah, the U.S. Marines and Army are growing the opium. It's at record levels of production, and we are helping ship it out to the United States. And they say, because if we don't, Al-Qaeda will get it and sell it. Well, that's what they told our troops in Vietnam. Well, we've got to ship this opium out, plus you get a bunch of money from it, guys, and we've got to corrupt you, and you can even go back to the U.S. when you get out of the military and be a regional drug dealer for us. We'll make you a police chief, over a city. That's how this corruption works, because we can't let the commies get the opium that's turned into heroin. So that said, the fact that he is an Indonesian citizen, the fact that he never gave up that citizenship, the fact that he had to basically give up his U.S. citizenship to do that at the time, the fact that he was adopted, that is an in-your-face event. And then they say, we're liars, we're terrorists, it doesn't exist, we just don't like Obama. No, this is all illegal. This is setting precedents. To have a president who's the head of the UN while he's president, serving a foreign power. You can't even take a knighthood when you're in government, and a bunch of people have done it. That's illegal. I mean, a president can't serve on the board of a corporation when he's president. That's illegal. Well, it's even more illegal to be the head of a world government body that's calling for the end of national sovereignty. But even if it was a good organization, it'd be illegal. That is illegal. Article 1, Section 9 of the U.S. Constitution. Go read it. It's like Hillary Clinton What, the federal government had to pay a $400,000 fine in the mid-'90s when she went to a Bilderberg Group meeting, and it came out that policy was being set in the meeting, and so taxpayers had to pay that fine for Hillary. Now, governors go, presidents go, they just don't care. They don't care if it's illegal. And it's the exact same thing with Barack Obama. The exact same thing. He knows what he's doing, and that's why he's had Michelle 3 months ago come out and say, when we went to the country of his birth, when we went to his homeland of Kenya. And then now we have a 1997 video when he was a U.S. Senator from Illinois where she is saying basically the same thing. So let's play the original video of her at a gay and lesbian event, an AIDS event, talking about it. Then we'll play the newest clip. Here it is.
Surrounding HIV testing, which is still plaguing so many of our communities, which you all know, a lot of that is due to homophobia. Barack has led by example. When we took our trip to Africa and visited his home country in Kenya, we took a public HIV test for the very point of showing folks in Kenya that there is nothing to be embarrassed.
Now, let's play this newest clip that just surfaced of Michelle Obama, this time almost 3 years ago, saying similar things. Here it is.
About a block. Just cheering and waving and the level of excitement. What that reminded me of was our trip to Africa 2 years ago. And the level of excitement that we felt in that country, the hope that people saw just in the sheer presence of somebody like Barack Obama, a Kenyan, a black man, a man of great statesmanship who they believe could change the fate of the world. We are still living in a country that is too mean.
Okay. And she goes on to repeat similar things. Now, if that's not enough, here's Obama last week at the White House Correspondents' Dinner making a joke about his approval rating is low here, but at least in the country of his birth, it's higher. Here it is.
For my approval ratings, which have just gone down. But that's politics. It doesn't bother me. Besides, I happen to know that my approval ratings are still very high in the country of my birth.
It's so funny. And you can see the media people going, you can watch their faces when they cut to the crowd. You can see all these media personalities going, that is the country of his birth. You can even read the woman's lips. She's going, that is the country of his birth. And they're all going, yeah, he's Kenyan. It's in your face. Hey, he's going to head the UN while he's president. He's going to swear an oath to them while he's president. Hey, he's going to make jokes. And then he went on to say, there aren't several hidden provisions in the health care bill. There are hundreds. That's actually true because it ties into the U.S. code and into the boards that set the policy. He goes on to make jokes about the drone attacks, which are real. Like Bush saying, no WMDs here, no WMDs there. This is in your face, rubbing your face in it. And he went on to say, this whole evening's event has been brought to you by Goldman Sachs. In fact, cue up that actual clip. Thank you. The guys do a great job. I don't give them any heads up. They're so quick. Hundreds of clips. We've got over 1,000 clips in there now. He said, but Goldman Sachs doesn't care. They're going to make money whether you laugh or not. See, we don't care if you're not laughing. We're going to rape you. I'm from Kenya. I use drones to kill innocent people. There are hidden provisions. And Goldman Sachs did put me in power. And I'm going to sit up here like a pimp and slap you the hoe in the face and say, listen, I'm going to pay you nothing. You're going to give me everything. I've broken your back. You work for me now. It's just like that Pennsylvania ad about you're our slave, pay the taxes, you're scum, we're watching you. They want you to know. They want to break your will. They think you're pathetic. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
By the way, all of the jokes here tonight are brought to you by our friends at Goldman Sachs. So you don't have to worry. They make money whether you laugh or not. There you go.
They make money whether you laugh or not. And there he is with all those elitists, all the media, and it's such a joke how they get to go to the elite parties and they get the millions of dollars a year in salary, and they're up there perched on top of us, looting us, just like the globalists have looted every other country. And now they're building FEMA camps, and they've militarized the police. And it's just so much fun that they're going to get away with all this because they think you're broke back. They think you've capitulated. I believe in you. I know you're waking up. I know you're taking action. And they're actually acting arrogant to intimidate you because they're scared to death. They think they're going to run their Stalinistic Hitler op here. We got news for the scum. You're going to be brought to justice. And Arnold Schwarzenegger needs to go back to Austria, or maybe he can go, he said on Jay Leno he wants to be president again. Maybe he can go form